Basically, well, it was so fucking hot I could feel my heartbeat in my ears. So at some point it just got so hot, and she wasn't leaving, and she was like a pro. So I finally just got up and I just sort of had my towel cover myself and go, I'm sorry. I think I left my key over. And she goes, oh, I did not see it, blah, blah. And I go, all right. So then I went back and I sat down. That's what I did. That's right. I sat down. And then she got up and I was like, still. I go like, it's got to be underneath her or something. So I waited for her to leave. I toughed it out. And then I walk over there and I'm feeling around on the fucking seats and shit. And it's just not there. And they have the slats. And I'm like, it probably fell down in between it. Now I'm going to have to walk out with just my towel and robe on, go back to the front desk, pay the fee and all of this shit. So now I walk out of the sauna, I'm fucking almost passing out. And to my left, in my peripheral, I see that woman again, naked at the top of the ladder to go into the ice bath. Oh my Jesus Christ, I got to get out of here, right? And as I'm walking away, you know, I hear her yelling over to somebody and I'm like, I know she's not talking to me. And then she just goes, then she switches to English. And she goes, did you find your key? And I kind of half turned but didn't look at her. And I go, no, I didn't. And then she goes, is this it? And I realized that's where I left it. When I scampered up the ladder to go there, I left it at the top. I go, oh, yeah, it is. And then she stays at the top of the ladder and just, you know, kind of hands it. And I walk over and literally her vagina is above me. And I kind of reach up like looking but not looking. I just go, Duncan, Shane. And it was so fucked up. I didn't even take a shower. I just walked out and I went to the locker room and I went in there and I was like pouring sweat and everyone was looking at me. Like when fighting, he showered off. He's all red like the tomato. Anyways, and then I put my shit back on, and there you go. That's my German sauna story, but I do have to tell you this, though. If you're completely naked in a sauna, it's even better. It is even better. It's fucking weird. But you only can do it in a place if everybody's naked, then it isn't weird. It isn't weird. And if you're worried that you're going to get a stiffy because there's a naked woman in there, there's also other naked men in there, so it neutralizes it. Not to mention it's hot as shit. Like, I don't think anybody has ever fucked in one of those hot naked, you know, the not naked, the hot yoga class. What do they call that? The Bikram yoga. Like, you can barely survive somebody is the last thing on your mind when you're sitting in like 80-degree heat. But anyways, that was my sauna story. It was hilarious. I was worried that my junk was going to look too small when I got out of the ice bath. And I was worried that I was going to salute the Germans when I was in the sauna if you know, if a naked woman walked in, but it didn't. I just felt like a fucking creep or two. Anyways, and that's why you travel the world, everybody, to get stories like that. I said, come on down. I said, come on down. I have a drum kit and I'm with some musicians. Before I do my show with the First Forum, we get to screw around in this amazing space. So I came down, you said, bring your guitar, and we had a blast. You're a great drummer. It was really fun. Oh, yeah, thank you. That was great. That was really fun, comedian. But yeah, we had Dean Del Rey, Michael Devin. I'm trying to remember the people. We had a mix of comedians, yeah. Failed musician comedians, and then like real deal guys like Michael plays with. Everybody played in like Whitesnake and all that stuff before all this crap happened. He could play everything. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. So there's a clip. I wish I could, if I could find it on one of my phones. Van Halen ain't talking about love, and there was some guy had like the Van Halen like tribute guitar, and he you know, was crushing the solo. You came down, but you played Van Morrison. It was such a great time. I think I played Van Morrison, yeah. We ended up playing for like almost, it felt like 3 hours. And I had such a good time. And then when I stood up, I had no energy left, and I was like, oh my God, did I just blow it? So you got to do the show. I had to do the show. But fortunately, the fear of screwing that up becomes like adrenaline. Yes. And I was able to go out there and, hey, I forget what that sounds like, even having like a crowd, so, right? We'll get back to it. Yeah, hopefully we'll get back to it. Yeah, all right, let me make sure I get this. All right? You can see Bill in theaters across the country this summer and fall on Bill Burr, the tour. For full tour dates, visit billburr.com, and The Mandalorian, of course, available on Disney+. Massive conglomerate. No one here is getting that money. Bill Burr, that was great. Thank you. Bill, you even said that you're a lifelong Red Sox fan, that you were disappointed that you're a little disappointed that the Red Sox, but you're not unhappy that they're losing now. No, I'm sorry. I mean, who says that? Burn off. Burn off all the bandwagon, okay? All those people with the pink Red Sox hats singing that stupid song in the 7th inning. You know, Sweet Caroline, yeah, bum, bum, bum. Your girl's got her head on your shoulder like you're at a romantic comedy. It's what they got. They got like a mascot now. They got a mascot. I didn't know they had a mascot. They tried a mascot in the late 70s, and the guy got pelted with so many, like, cigarette lighters that he quit after, like, 3 games. And that's what I mean. Now I come back to Boston, everybody's like, they they like holding, you know, swaying, singing this song. It's just, it's not. The Patriots have like a lighthouse at their stadium now. It's just not the city I left. So you're bitter that they had that success? Were you happy that they won the? No, I like that they won. I'd like them to continue winning, but I don't think we have to sing campfire songs in like the 7th inning, okay? I don't like mascots. I don't like those songs. And Steve Jobs, I think, was a little overrated. Nice tape thing. Thanks, you love it, you love it, you love going against the grain. It's fantastic. I like annoying people. Okay, on that subject then, did you watch the conventions? Republican convention, Democratic convention? No. I think if you watch those, you're an idiot. I don't understand why you would sit there wasting your time. They all say the same thing. They're all like, you know, over the last 4 years, everything good that happened was because of us, and we would have done more good stuff if it wasn't for those guys. And then the Democrats go, oh, we did all the good stuff, like you're all working for the same guy. They've been on both horses, and then it just kind of goes, you know, it's not for you, right? You vote for that guy that says, like, there's a meteor headed right towards the planet. Oh, it's the guy you vote for, you go with the psycho. Because there's no way there's any corporate money behind that guy, right? That guy is going to come on TV. It's going to come on TV, like, reading files from the Pentagon, like, you know what else they're doing? Like just freaking people out. Man, as unsettling as that is, at least you can believe in it. You can trust it. You know that. Oh. No corporations behind them. They're not getting any money on the side. Because I think both the Democrats, Republicans, they just say the same thing. They just say those applause break. I think it's time to get this country back to work, and some guy with like a Tennessee sign jumping up and down like he's part of it, right? You know, we're all gonna get replaced by like robots. That's what I think. Like eventually, you think we're all gonna be replaced by robots? Yeah. What the kid do you research? I think that's the event. You know what is Conan? I don't have any kids. And if you go too long, you get a little crazy, you know, you become like that black dude and not Predator. Remember that guy? Like I see it over there in them trees. Become like that guy, so you become him because you didn't have children shaving your head, yeah? So you gotta have something, I gotta have a kid. That's what I gotta do, I should just have a kid and play catch with them. You know, why don't tell them that? You know, Santa's coming and all that, right? No, I think it's too late. Whatever I am saying, what I'm feeling, you can at least give me that, right? That's good. You are saying what you're feeling. I want to make sure I mention this. Bill's new special, You People Are All the Same, will be available online October 1st at billburr.com. That's right. And I'm hoping people are going to actually download it and pay for it. I am hoping it's a big risk now. That could become like a $140,000 business card. You know, that's gonna basically be like, and if you're gonna steal it, can you just be honest and just say I stole it? Can you just do that? Don't be like, we're not stealing it. We're sharing it, man. No, you're stealing it. All right. I hate to tell you this. Lars was right. He was right. He's stealing. Okay. I did too. You know Lars from Metallica? Yeah. Okay. The other Lars, I don't know. There might be another Lars. I'm just trying a monster movie. Lars turned the switch. First heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. I was like, everybody doesn't get to do this. It seems as if there's no job interviews. Right as I get out of the car, you're hired, go home. We'll see you tomorrow. This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you. How are you? Oh, I love that, Doc. You did the audience a plaid applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going. For him, it was really, you know, you relate to adults differently, people that you knew forever. And I always hated when somebody who didn't have a kid goes, you don't get it, man. You don't get it, do you? And I was like, fuck you, I get it. It's like having a dog, but it's more intense. I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys that came out of the forest and they were just going Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last 2 elections when they could have voted against the black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. Going to take a 4-wheeler. Unfit mother. Let me tell you something. You better be this dead, cuz. When you come out of the woods, I'm going to kill your ass. Now I'm going to count to 3. If you ain't out of the woods at the count of 3, you live here. 1, there he is. Let's go, you know? Because black mama's real, you know, they don't play, but all mamas get tired. Because when white mamas get fed up, oh, y'all get fed up. You're like, I've had it up to here. I'm sick of your insubordination. You don't stay in timeout. You don't eat your vegetables. You know what? Yeah, I got an idea. You know what? I got an idea. Everybody get in the car. We finna go for a ride down by the lake. And the kid's like, yay, we're going for a ride down by the lake. Down by the lake. But my mama might not ever take us for a ride down by the lake. But she'll read that in the paper and she'll use it as a scary text. She'd be like, ooh, we. The mama got tired of them damn kids and took their ass for a ride down by the lake. Let me tell y'all something. Keep messing up, and I'm going to take y'all ass for a ride down by the lake. I'd be in the background talking about, first of all, you got to get a car, because I don't think the bus driver is going to let you take everybody on the bus for a ride down by the lake. I've been Lavelle Crawford. Thanks a lot. It's a great audience. Give yourselves a hat. Good. Mexican-American. More Cheech and Chong after the break. You know, everything's been funny. This is a really wonderful lineup of really funny comedians. And I was figuring it out today. We haven't been into Montreal in about 37 years, the last time we were here. So tonight, we'd like to do something very special for you. We only do this once a night, and we'd like to do something. It's a very serious song. It's a song of my people, and I hope you like it. Mexican-Americans don't like to just get into gang fights. They like flowers and music and white girls named Debbie, too. Mexican-Americans love education, so they go to night school. And they take Spanish and get a BA. Mexican-Americans don't like to get up early in the morning, but they have to, so they do it real slow. Mexican-Americans love the nanas and the nonos and the ninas and the ninos and the ninos. Nano, nino, but don't call them beaters. They're all over the place. Don't call them beaters. They'll up and kick you in the face. Call them beers even though they drive real low. Don't call them beaters even though they drive low. Goddamn slow. They'll call them Peter. They don't like to be called Peter. You can dress them up, but you can't take them out. That's the only thing. Listen, where was I? Oh, yes, my people. Mexican-Americans are named Shada and 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 an old shaman have a son-in-law named Jeff. Mexican-Americans don't like to go to the movies where the dude has to wear contact lenses to make his blue eyes brown. Just don't make my brown eyes blue. Is it time for the racists? Mexican-Americans live in Los Angeles, San Diego, San Antonio, San Francisco, and now all over Canada. Boy, and she just gets cold up there. Mexican-Americans have been here forever, and we're going to be here forever, and then we only want what's fair. Mexican-Americans, thank you, man. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us on Just for Laughs. Now the credits are going to roll. We don't really expect you to stick around for this, but I have to. We'd appreciate it if you did. There's my name, woohoo. The fourth. No, the fifth cameraman is hot. Okay, then I'm done. There I go now. Oh, for crying out loud. What, mommy? It's over. Good to have you on again. Thanks for being here. It's nice to be here. And you know what? I actually have the same dream about somebody coming into my house. This happens a lot, actually, where I'll be just falling asleep and I'll think I'll run through an entire scenario of a home invasion. And I don't have any kind of weapon in my house. So you want to go with the .22 caliber, right? Perfect gun to shoot in the house. The low caliber gun. You can't really kill anybody from a distance, you know, so if they take a hostage, you can just start shooting at them. Perfect. Just let it go. Just good to know. Yeah. Now, when I'm on the road, I talk about getting a .22 per hour. Everybody makes fun of me, you know, because, you know, it's that guy thing like, oh, what are you going to shoot a squirrel with your little gun? But if you're in a house, that's what you want, little .22. You know, I'm basically teaching you guys how to kill somebody, I think. So it's a .22. You think it's superior to the part of a vacuum cleaner? Yeah. You don't want to have like a .44 Magnum. It's like you're going to shoot through the guy, through the wall, blow your dog's brains out, like drop the engine out of your car way too much, like a little .22. You can still hear if you miss, right? No, I shot a .38 one time with no hearing, with no hearing protection. Yeah. I was doing landscaping for this guy, and all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, that follow sound, that needed killing, yeah. And he was like, I got this 5-shot .38. I never shot, was the 80s. So you're like, yeah, why not? You can't explain anything by just, oh, it was the 80s. Why did you do that? It was the 80s. We went down the street that somebody burned a car for insurance, so we were shooting at that. And after the first shot, I couldn't hear anything. And I never forgot that. So if you're in the house and you miss, now you can't hear it. You're blinded by the muzzle flash. This guy's coming around your bed with a sickle, and you're shooting the wrong way. Sickle. He's got a sickle. Is he harvesting wheat? What's he doing in your house? He's a sickle. I honestly, as you get older, you think about safety, and I totally relate to that. Yeah. When you're home alone, it's just that feeling. Yeah. It's just you're the only person there. You're what's for dinner. If somebody comes in, it's on you. That's why I never was comfortable in a motel. What? Because you're just laying in this bed like 2 feet from a door that just opens up into the parking lot. Any guy can come in, and you're just not ready to have a fight to the death. You're just laying there. So you turn on the chest, this guy comes in. So to be honest, I'm never ready to have a fight to the death. It's like in a motel. You think in a motel, it's like, you're particularly vulnerable in a motel. You should, just drive by a motel and just look at it. You're just looking at those doors, like there's just people in there just laying on beds like half naked, just laying there. And the door's like that thick, it's barely. You could put your foot right through it, he's gonna be like that, that's it. The last thing you're gonna see is just, you're gonna be looking back at your own body like you're crazy. No, I do think about that. She was mourning and screaming. I was mourning and screaming. I was mourning and screaming. I looked into her eyes. She looked into my eyes. And she went, do they have Christmas trees in Africa? I have no idea what pisses me off more. The fuck they said us this while we're having sex. The fact that I took time out to answer the question. Yes, we do. You guys have been wonderful. Good night. What's up? What's up? Bonjour. Montreal. I've been here for 3 weeks. I've never been here that long. I've been reading in the news. No, there's no mass shootings, no cops killing black people. There's no Caitlyn Jenner stuff that you have in an election. I don't know the religion of the candidates. What the hell do you do for fun up here? I have no idea what's going on, gay marriage, right? Our Supreme Court finally approved gay marriage. And in the decision, the funniest thing they wrote, they said that gays are now entitled to the same rights as all other humans. And I said, that's so nice of you to make them human now, because we do. We have a national homophobia. It's ridiculous. Like the minute the Supreme Court approved gay marriage, the states that don't want it, they have these things now. They call it religious freedom laws, and it's a twist on religion. And what it does, it allows people to use their religion to discriminate against gays or anyone they don't like, you know, in the name of Jesus. Because there's no doubt Jesus was big on discrimination. I think it was Jesus that said, love one another as you love thyself. Unless he's different than you, then go ahead and shoot his ass, because that was open. Carrie Jesus, who's very popular down in Texas, I don't know. So they had these laws. So there was a pizzeria in Indianapolis that said they refused to serve pizza to gay weddings. Now, keep in mind, no gay wedding had ever ordered pizza, but they said, we will not serve pizza to gay weddings that didn't order pizza in the first place. And just to make sure we never lose any money. Not serving pizza to gay people who didn't want pizza. We had started a Kickstarter GoFundMe page, and they raised over $800,000 to make sure they never lose money not serving pizza to gay people who didn't want pizza to begin with. And I read that article, and I made a decision, and I'm telling you right now, Alonzo Bowden refused to do comedy at gay weddings that have never asked me to do comedy in the first place. And just to make sure I never lose money not doing comedy for gay people that didn't want my ass there to begin with, I have started a GoFundMe page. So please give generously in the name of Jesus. We always talk about the women up here. Beautiful, beautiful women. Yeah? Yeah, I look. But I'm out of the game now because the game has changed. You used to be able to pick up. Now you want to hook up. You want to get laid? There's an app for that, right? That's what you do. They have like this Tinder and Instagram and stuff, and that's a young man's game. You know, my nephew was showing me, like, check it out. You just flip through the pictures, then you hit, like, then if she hits, like, you hook up and you smash that, and I was like, you smash that on a, like, that's the extent of your effort. You lucky little punk, you don't know I love it. I can look on Instagram, but I can't be trying to hook up on Instagram, a little too old, be messing around the Instagram, but I'd be the creepy guy on Instagram, you know? And you don't want to be that, right? Creepy. That's like the worst thing I got. No, I used to think creepy was the worst thing a guy could be until I heard these girls talk about a guy who looked rapey. And I was like, that's a thing. Now there's rapey out there. That is the worst description I have ever heard. Can you imagine being described as rapey? Man, if you looked rapey, you would do anything to get back to creepy, wouldn't you? People always ask comics, they're like, what makes you laugh? I'll tell you what makes me laugh. The most ordinary, everyday things I see that they make me laugh. I was crossing the street, right? I stopped at the crosswalk. I looked next to me. There's a seeing eye dog. And I looked at him, and he had no blind person. It was just a dog. And I started laughing my ass off. Because all I could think is somewhere there's a blind guy going, where's my dog? Where's my dog? Where's my dog? And I couldn't help but think, what did he do that? The dog said, I've had enough of this. You on your own? You're laughing. I love that. I love that joke. Because see, now that planted a seed, right? And you're going to... What's going to happen? You're going to see a blind guy with a dog, and you're going to think about that joke, and you're going to start laughing, and everyone's going to think you're the biggest asshole in the world because you're laughing at a blind guy with a dog. And then you're going to be, no, the rapey guy said out, Alonzo Bowden, thank you, thank you. Women go to restaurants and lose their goddamn mind. They got to order from that expensive side of the menu, the side with the steak and the lobster. And the Dom Perignon guys like to give him that little warning too, huh? Ooh, honey, you understand that's the fucking side of the menu? You understand that? It's steak, lobster, and dick. It is a combination. If a nigga really wanted to rape me, what can I really do? Be honest, like if you get past my scuffle, that's it. I gotta take one for the team. That's all I got. Get past my scuffle. Hey, get the fuck off, nigga. Nigga. Ladies, you gotta start taking some responsibility for your own miserable life. If you're over 25 years old, you're still walking around here talking about niggas ain't shit. Bitch, you need to grow the fuck up with your irresponsible ass. What you meant to say was all the niggas you fuck with ain't shit. That's right. Needing to figure out what it is about your pussy that keep attracting ain't shit niggas. Might be ain't shit pussy. Imagine if Michael Jackson was from the project. What if Michael Jackson was a pimp? Should be him and Tito be riding around in the Cadillac and shit. Slow down, Tito. Slow down, Tito. Damn! Is that my hobo that's sitting on the couch? Her! Let me out. Come here, girl. I said, come here, girl, with my money. How much you got, Micah? I'm sorry. All I got is a $100 bill. Girl, you've been out here all day, and all you got is the $100 bill. Keep it in the closet. I think Michael's on crack. I bet you Michael's at home. Mike is like, only white folks are shocked when they saw that tape. Police whooping black folks in the black community ain't no new shit. When I saw that, I thought it was a fucking new Timex commercial. I didn't know what the fuck it was. But that's all right, because the brother getting paid, he getting $1 million for every blow. 50 done is $6 million. I'm looking to get fucked up. I'm doing 300 miles an hour in a Volkswagen, yelling out the window, fuck the police, fuck all your bad trade motherfuckers, come over here, whoop my ass, give me my case. The issue was not whether Lorena Bobbitt did what her husband claims she did. The facts about the act were evident. She cut his dick off, drove down the highway, and threw it out the window. Car 11, I want you to proceed down on the freeway. See if you can't locate a dick. She obviously got 20/20 vision. She found a little thing. It was very difficult to find. San Angeles Police Department is actively searching for Mr. Simpson. You know who the real victim is? Ike Turner. Because Ike was the king of the Wolver beater. So OJ took his title. Don't nobody give a fuck about OJ and all that old punk ass shit. Niggas just want to know when is the next riot. Fuck that. Will the jury find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder? I want Johnny Cochran in my corner. He was like a magician. If it don't fit, you must have quit. Every prison is filled with niggas, just overcrowded with niggas. One motherfucker gets away. Hey, we got to take a look at the justice system. It's not working. So kids, AC/DC. I raised them right. Great. I raised them right. And you know what's my favorite thing ever is my son. Not only does he love AC/DC, he dresses up like him. I got him a guitar, and he like watches the videos. He could do like his, his Chuck Berry thing. And one of my favorite moments, I was laying in bed with my wife, and my son woke up early when he was 3, and he started singing Sin City. First song, second side, Power Range. 3 years old, use down this little voice, dun, 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 dun. And I look at my wife, doesn't know the song. I'm like, he's singing Sin City. I love this kid. You also have a fantastic Hulu special came out recently, Drop Dead Years. Can you explain the title to us? Oh, it was just done it, being 56, these are like the years where it's a weird age. Is a man, you're too young to die of natural causes, but you're right in the sweet spot of dropping dead, right? So dropping dead is like this uniquely male phenomenon. Like guys drop dead all the time. Women, you don't go to your Pilates class and see women clutching their chests or whatever for some reason. It's weird because there's just as many out of shape women, but they don't seem to have heart attacks. I don't know what it is. They cry out their emotions. Yeah, but we have a steak and some French fries for a couple of decades. The next thing you know, we're falling out of a golf cart and that's it. There's no defibrillator to bring you back. They should have a defibrillator at the turn of every golf course. Instead, they just give you more stuff to have a heart attack, which is what's amazing about golf. So many people take up golf because the doctor says you have to start walking. You're a ticking time bomb. And then what do? They get a golf cart and they're smoking cigars and we're idiots. Corned beef sandwich. This is not enough. Trying to get out of the way of your man boobs while you're swinging there? Something I wanted to ask you about. So fellow Red Sox fans, New York Yankees broke out these new torpedo bats. Oh, aren't those cool? No. God, what do you think? What is your take? Fair play, I love it. They should do stuff like that. They should turn it into golf. If you just how if you suck at golf, you don't have to get better at it? If you're like a podiatrist and you're slicing, they just design a golf club to make it go straight. The Yankees should go up with those big red plastic bats that you teach a 3-year-old with them in. I don't know. It just seems as a Patriots fan, they're weighing out footballs and these guys are going, hey, that part of the bat you're not supposed to hit it with? Let's make it the sweet spot also. So I don't know. Listen, they're just a $75 million team that could, they're trying. I will say it's funny to watch them not even remotely spend as much money as the Dodgers. And watching them completely outspend them is really a funny thing. Just, as a fly on the wall watching these two cities battling each other, New York, everything's big. We spend the most money, and then LA's like, no, you don't. We're spending more than you are. I love your intense accent work that you've developed about. I know. California, New York, while wearing a pink sweater. You know, what's his face? I always do something to give the trolls something to talk about. So there's going to be a bunch of he's wearing pink now on this liberal show. What is this? Some woke. You know what's funny is white liberals are the ones that gave the definition of woke to whites on the right, so they don't. No white people really understand, it seems, what that word really meant when they took it from black people. So people on the right just think it means an insufferable, self-involved, liberal douche. And they're not wrong if they're talking about a white person, right? Running around crying about their pronouns. It's like the sun is like lighting the planet on fire. Faith, look how scared you are about pronouns. It's unbelievable. They like when you talk about pronouns. Well, the rest of the world doesn't want to take our food because they see what we look like. They don't want our beautiful chicken. They don't want our beautiful beef. Yeah. Why is that? Why would you? It is just always the best way. Go to Europe, and if you can, and eat a tomato and see what it really is supposed to taste like. This is a tomato. Jesus Christ! Like somebody fucking stabbed you in the roof of your mouth. It would affect how you talked in school, like for the first 3 periods. I would bleed one day when I bit him out in the fucking sun in July on a fucking roof. And I remember the first job I had looking over the fence. These fucking good-looking people, like Instagram-looking people before Instagram, and they were just lounging at a pool just looking up at us. And I was just thinking, like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Living, you was living. No, that was working. I hated that job so much. You know, I just left. I didn't even go back and pick up a paycheck. I just wasn't meant to do it. You know, there was this fucking guy who worked there. He had these jeans on, right? And I had a giant hole here, and he would never wear underwear. Oh, come on, it was so weird. I remember one time I was sitting there picking up these fucking tiles, and this dude stepped over some shit, and the whole moved like, oh, wow. Flash is fucking junk. Those are my 2 memories from that. That dude's junk and those people sitting by the pool. Maybe that's why I didn't go back. That's a great reason not to. No, I wasn't good at confrontation. Then I thought he was going to get mad that I didn't want to do a job where I was going to get sunburned and look at some guy's dick. If you could have a superpower, what would it be? Oh, that's a good one. You know what it would be? When I'm second in line to make a left, and the person doesn't pull up to get out in the intersection and make sure I make it, my superpower would be that I could mentally move him out into the intersection, and if they gave me the finger, I would slowly slide them into oncoming traffic. I wouldn't make them hit because that's an innocent person over there. It's not like a superpower. You're a villain, man. I would scan them. I would scan them. You're the first villain I had on my show. Everybody else, superpowers like Marvel characters. Your shit is like a villain. They're lying to you. Everybody's pretending that they care. They don't. If you really listen to people, what they care about is what affects them. True. Nobody gives a shit about the 8-year-old who made this jacket. Do I write him and say, thank you for sewing this together? No. Now they're trying to get Greek and formula to make some shit for redheads. I always wake up and do shit. If I could work with anybody, dead or alive, you know what? Dead or alive, I would do a set in front of Richard Pryor, and all I would want him to say was, hey, funny stuff, that's it. I wouldn't want to bother the guy. I would just want him to acknowledge that he watched, and on some level, he thought it was humorous. This one time on tour, okay, Lisa, that's a tough one. This one time on tour, I was with Charlie Murphy. We'll go back to that. And this kid at the Tempe Improv was also into martial arts and thought that his style was superior to Charlie's. And Charlie said that it wasn't. And they had a little kung fu match in the fucking, right? You know, where they had the black and white tiles. And I remember Charlie was twisting up so bad he wasn't even looking at the guy. He was just looking over at me, smiling the whole time he was doing it. And I just remember somehow he had turned the kid around where he was behind him, and his arms were all up in his face, and Charlie was just laughing, and Charlie had this laugh. So the kid was humiliated. I remember I wanted to laugh, but I was just like, wow, I don't know karate either. So even though that kid's losing, Charlie leaves, he'll kick my ass. So yeah, if I wasn't a boss, I'd be afraid. If I wasn't a boss, oh my God, I would be a failure. Because I wouldn't have gone after what I wanted, and I would be working for somebody else, and I'd be a drunk. I'd be big, round, and orange, wouldn't be sitting here. My favorite position is doggy style. You're so nasty. Oh, I just can't deal with the intimacy, you know? I don't know who I am as a person yet. And when somebody looks at me during that time, I feel like I'm exposing too much. I was talking about your position on the basketball court. I don't play basketball. For office, no. This is not legislation, right? These are jokes by someone who doesn't read. Okay, just everybody relax. Yeah, people put so much on. I know. Now, I'm excited to be here. I am. It's very exciting to be doing stand-up outside of my own country. Yeah. No, not because of you. That's how it's become us. Everything's so goddamn every joke you tell it. But what did you mean about that? I didn't go to the gym today. Are you calling me fat? I feel triggered. Gotta fucking apologize to everybody. This is how screwed up my country is right now. To you. You know that shit. You know Bryan Cranston, right? That dude did a movie. He played a quadriplegic. And people gave him, be like, why is there an able-bodied person playing a quadriplegic? It's like, it's because it's called acting, you dumb. See, if he was a quadriplegic playing a quadriplegic, that's not acting. That's just laying there saying that someone else wrote where you're still doing a lot of acting too, right? She shot a big movie. Yeah, I shot a Pete Davidson's big movie. Oh, how did that go? Well, I didn't get fired. Yeah, who knows? Get cut out. You never know. It went great. And it was the first time I got to work with Judd Apatow where I've worked with him in a more like distant way, like I did Pete's show, Crashing, because I think that comes out June of next year. But I got to do an episode of The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau, the new Star Wars thing.
Oh, I gotta see that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What? This is a sports fan meathead who doesn't watch any sci-fi. You're gonna be in Star Wars? Just say, I was like, are you?
Are you with Star Wars? No. You know what this is like? This is like when Joe DeRosa met Joe Torre. He goes, yeah, I met this guy the other night. He was somehow connected with the Yankees because he was still managing. It was Joe tutelage. I'm like, Torre. He goes, yeah. Is he like a big, he makes that face guy? I was like, dude, I'm going to strangle you. I know, right? I'm going to strangle you. Why? He's like, I want to go buy vintage T-shirts. Yeah, so he already went off on me for being in Star Wars. And I told him, I go, this is your payback for meeting Joe Torre. Fair enough, fair enough. What did you do to you? What you wearing? What? Star Wars? I don't know that they are. Like, that's very secretive. This is like how much money's in the Federal Reserve. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything. Yeah, all that Netflix, say anything. Yeah, all that Netflix. I love it. Netflix. If you look at the trailer, you see the back of my bald head for half a second. Oh my God, I see you're not in a helmet. I love it. My head is a helmet. It would have been redundant. That's like a joke, a hat on a hat. Oh my God, that's exciting. You're a busy guy, Bill. Yes, I am. What about F is for family? F is for family. We're finishing up season 4. Holy, editing that. And that should be out sometime next year. But for you, stand-up will always be #1. Yeah. Well, you're very generous with comics. I was talking to Tom about how when I was early on the Comedy Store, you were so good to me. And we'll watch sets. Oh my God, when you did that, punchlines and stuff. And it was so cool when you did that bit. She's my best friend. I was just like, I don't think you understand how funny you are. And she just kept booking TV shows and was annoying. It's just like, stop fucking. They're giving you chicken feed. You're a star. Get out there on the towel. You wait till her hour comes out. Yeah. Forgetting all about mine. I'm telling you, there's nobody has a vibe. Like, you're hilarious. And you got this chill, cool vibe that I loved. And then you. And you also know how to unleash. Like some comics, when they get loud, then they just stay there too long. Yeah. And then it gets annoying. But like, you know how to, like, if you know how to use it, you can just, blow them back in the seat and then bring them back down again. It's awesome. I love it. You've always been so good to me, and it really, I was always much appreciated. There we go. We sound like one of us is on our deathbed. I know. Yeah. I was going to say so nice to me. What is this announcement you're going to make? Keep my name alive, Fortune. I brought him up at the store a couple weeks ago, and I was like, this is one of the nicest because you're so nice to me. And I mean, you're nice to everybody, but I love you so much, and like, he's one of the nicest guys there is. And you come out, you're like, do you really have to say that? I'm about to go rant about a bunch of shit. I'm the nicest guy. The nicest guys ever talk about people in wheelchairs, but it means a lot. It does. When you're a newer comic, you're coming up, it's intimidating. Well, that's because people did that for me, and I didn't forget it. Then I remember what it meant to me. I had one. Dave Chappelle said something to me in the early 2000s. I held on to that, yeah. In comedy condos and hell rooms for like the next 5 years. Dave said I was funny, right? Dave thinks I'm funny. Hear that for me. Honestly, I'm not saying that because you're on your deathbed, but you are. Comedy deathbed. When I'm on the road and I'm in a green room that's, basically a broom closet, I'm like, Bill said I was funny. And it does carry you through those weekends sometimes. Well, you're so lost in the beginning, you really don't know whether you have no confirmation of whether you are. And there's no, roadmap. So you're like, is this going to lead to anything? Am I doing this even remotely, right? And you don't have blinders on, like I'm just going to do what I find my own journey? No, you just you almost see but so yeah, what is that guy doing? I need to be doing what he's doing. She's like mapping out his shirt and everything, yeah. What agent he's with, and you're just ping-ponging. Yeah. Joe, yeah. Joe Coy came in here and was like, my street team. Tom and I were like, we need a street team. Why don't we have a street team? You're like, what are we doing wrong? Well, what keeps you going was what I started to learn was just like, well, I started before cell phones. You get in, you just drive back in the next comedy stop in Boston, and then you would find the nearest comic and tell them the story you got. And then, of course, try to top your story about, like, you know, that's nothing, though. One time I had this happen, it just made you feel like, all right, well, I got a story to tell. And then it also made me feel like a comedian. I heard the older guys, you know, telling the stories, and I was just like, I don't have any stories. I went to an open mic, and it didn't go well. Because it was my fault. There was no any, you know, other elements involved. So then once I started doing, you know, rooms outside, and, oh, there's nothing better than hearing about your friends who've suffered. Bill Burr's Special Paper Tiger is streaming on Netflix now. Go and watch it. He also has some big tour dates coming up. Go to billburr.com. Look at all his dates. He's going all over Cosmopolitan in Vegas. And, of course, listen to his Monday morning podcast, one of the best podcasts out there, Bill Burr, ladies and gentlemen. Because I think Ted Kaczynski had a comics brain. Like, I think he had a brain where it saw through the bullshit. Yeah, actually, you know, I shouldn't say. Ted Kaczynski, the guy that arrested him, yeah. The guy that ended up taking him down, he had a comics brain. Ted Kaczynski said to him, I'm paraphrasing this, if you saw this movie, you're going to go, it's not exactly what he said. Yeah, but they're doing quid pro quo with the guys debriefing him. And they're trying to get him to admit he was guilty because they don't really have a case on him. Sure. And so at one point, Ted goes, you're wanting me to admit, but I need to ask you some questions. And the guy goes, okay. And Ted goes, when did you realize I was right? And the guy goes, the guy freezes. And he goes, I was driving in the middle of Idaho in a snowstorm, and I came to a crossroads where there was a red light. It was 2 in the morning, and I sat at the red light for 10 minutes, and it wasn't changing. And I thought, this is what's wrong with the world, technology, like there's no one there. But I'm still beholden to the rules. Listen to the rules. And I went. Those kind of observations I feel like, dude, that's why I say, I think Bill Burr would like Ted Kaczynski a lot. I mean, dude, Bursey. I mean, I think he's the pinnacle of, I would bring him in, I think in another life, he is the greatest murder detective of all time. Yeah, because he can challenge everything in such a smart way. That's why he's one of the greatest comedians of all time, because he can just come in and challenge it away, dude. I remember going and watching him at Caroline's when he was still doing Caroline's, and like me and Giannis and Nate would go in the back and you just watch a bit and you'd be like, oh my God, my God. Like a premise where you're like, I don't necessarily, how is he going to pull this? Oh my God, he pulled it off. And this is the greatest joke. But if he was a detective, and he'd be like, what's good? What's that? What's that fucking handkerchief? Why was that there? And, you know, the woman's like, he would get a lot of yelling confessions. I fucking did it. I did it. You know what? Yeah. And he's like, I know you did. I fucking know you did. And he's like, I fucking did it. Is that what you want, detective? And he had birds. Is yelling back? Yeah, why don't you turn yourself in? Would get a lot of yelling. I might have to bring that up to him. Yeah, dude, he would get people to yell back at him where they're like, because they deserved it. And he's like, yeah, see, there it is. He would have got Bundy. He would have got Ted Bundy. He would have got, dude, what Ted Bundy did in that courtroom in Orlando where he lost it. He would have got him in Colorado. He'd been like, why'd you escape? Why'd you run? He's like, all right, don't you think I would? No, don't charm me. I'm not a woman. And he's like, yeah, well, I murdered those bitches. You can't sneak in the back door and climb up the back stairs. It wasn't the back stairs. It was the front stairs. I went in like a man. I'll kill him with my own hands. And he's like, I fucking got you, just Burr breaking. If you could send Bird, I would 100% watch all of that. I would love to see other comics solving mysteries. I would be first 48. I'm Columbo. Yeah, you just, one last thing. Yeah, you know what? I got one more question. I'll tell you exactly who I am. I'm at school. After, what's going on? Long day, huh? The guy's like, yeah. I'm like, sometimes the world just makes you angry. He's like, yeah, you know, that's how I get over. They'd be like, man, sometimes you just want to do something. I'm like, tell me, brother, what did you do? I killed her, man. I would have a lot more heartfelt tear confessions. See, I'd have a lot of guys go. And I go, hey, it's okay. I go, I do with that a lot. People in the other comps go, we got him, Mario. We got that on Mike. Okay, come on. Hey, bud, you're going to go away for a long time. It's better you admit it, though. Get that off your chest. Get this off. You're going to feel better. Sleep good tonight, eh? And, yeah, I think you would come in and you'd just be like, one last thing. You said you were in Pensacola last week. And the guy said, am I crazy? But when you say Pensacola, did you mean Delray Beach? And the guy's like, yeah, Delray Beach. Because if you're in Delray Beach, then the sun there doesn't set until, yeah, dude. Wolf would beat people like Batman beats Joker and Dark Knight. Michelle would go, and there you go, just slam his head. What's your fucking problem? And he's like, oh, fuck. Someone get me out of this room with this lady. Michelle would definitely lock the door and go, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. I can tell you everything. My initial thought was Jerry was crazy when you put him in the JFK hair. Wow, he really looks like JFK. It was amazing. Are you making any progress? Progress? Show him stand. Okay, it's not to scale, but astonishing. What are you guys 5 years old? Little John. John draws better than that. I think there's something wrong with him. Well, I mean, I thought if you were making an entire movie about the history of the Pop-Tart that it was going to be a little lighthearted. I made it perfectly clear in my inaugural address. You did? Great speech? Ask. It's so absurd that they would come to the president or even get the meeting to talk to him about it. Especially with the Cuban Missile Crisis and all this stuff. And then trying to drag him into Vietnam. All the stuff that he was dealing with that they would get there. I can't believe I'm in a scene with Jerry Seinfeld. This is like the greatest ever. I also love all the period correct wardrobe here. I love the way Jim looks. I love his glasses and Melissa McCarthy's. The way they got her hair is amazing. May I keep this? Ask not, right. You're doing, about to do my, what is my dream tour? You're going to Europe to do stand-up in Europe, and you're also going in the winter. Are you one of those Americans that just automatically thinks they're smarter over there? Because you got to go because everybody American knows, oh my God, the food and the people are so enlightened. You go over there, some idiot eating fish and chips, screaming about soccer or whatever. It's like, I know that guy, I know. I've seen that guy, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Like, everybody's over there in, like, lab coats figuring stuff out. They're not. Everything's so much older and so much culture. They still, yeah, they still get on social media and trash each other. Are you going to any places? You've obviously toured a lot over there before. Are you going places you've never been? Yeah, this is like a thrash. I'm going through, like, Eastern Europe, like Estonia. I'm doing Prague, Bosnia. Poland is a big one I wanted to go to, and yeah, so you go in with an expectation. Do you think to yourself, oh, a Bosnian audience will like this part of my act? Or you just go in and do exactly what you do? Like, I'm right here. Because if you go over there, the first time I did London, like, I was just in my head the whole time. I'd have, like, a joke coming up about, like, and it involved a squirrel. And then in my head, I'd be like, do they have squirrels over here? Did I see a squirrel? Is this going to bomb? And I would be, like, freaking out. And then I swear to God, you pull back, and then they pull back. And then it just becomes, like, this staring contest. So I just act like I'm here. I use references. I use slang. And I just go until it bombs. And then I make fun of it that they didn't get it. And then I just go again. But I've gotten some of the funniest. I was in Stockholm, Sweden one time, and I was on stage, and there was some guy, you know, saying, you know, all right, you know, what do I do after this? Where should I go? Blah, 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 blah. And I just hear this guy in the crowd yells out. He goes, come to my house. They'll have a party. I was just like, yeah, I think I'm going to skip that one. I don't think I'm going to meet you anywhere, buddy. But they had a great sense of humor, and I remember when I did Stockholm, Sweden, I came out and I said, hey, it's great to be here in Switzerland. And they all laughed thinking I was joking, and I just played it off. I was like, oh, I missed that. So anyways, do you feel a bigger rush? Is there something, you know, when you think about all the small rooms you played here and, you know, where you're from, and when you go over to a whole nother country, do you have a rush of like, I can't believe I'm killing in a foreign country in a big crowd? Yeah, definitely. But I always have that thing in the, you know, you have a job to do. These people paid for a sitter. They're coming out and that thing, and I'm always trying to get like better. But there's definitely, you know, I've been starting to add some shows over there. It's just like, it's YouTube, it's Netflix. Like, your stuff can just go international. You know, I definitely feel blessed that I can go to these places, make a little bit of money, you know, and yeah, meet all these kids. Can you enjoy yourself the day of? Like, if you know, obviously you're going city to city, so you don't have a lot of time. If you have a show at night in Prague, can you go out and enjoy a day in Prague? Or are you in your head about the fact you've got a show? Probably not, because this is my first time there. The first time there is always just, you go there like, you know, an animal sleeping on a futon and all that. Then you build a following. And I can bring my wife, you know, she shows up once all the land's been cleared, all the hard work's done, I want to go. It seems like fun, I didn't bring her. She'd probably buy some stupid antique over there. And I got to figure out how to bring it halfway across the world, but I like it. Yeah, you break even on the whole trick because he got an old piano. The word that's going to kill me earlier is going to be why. That's what my wife always does. Do you like this? No, I don't like it. It's a piece of, don't get it. And then she's always just like, why? But I like it. And then it's just like, all right, buy it. No, but I want you to like it too. And it's just like, there's just no winning. But you have a, you're a licensed helicopter pilot? Yes, I am. This is true. How long has this been the case? I get it, 2014 or 2015, I can't remember. What made you want to become a licensed helicopter pilot? Conspiracy theory. And living in Los Angeles, what is the conspiracy theory that led you to it? Well, I'm not into like, you know, people think of you into conspiracy theory. They just automatically think that you think, you know, you think there's lizard people and shapeshifters and, you know, you have this aluminum hat on. No, I just sort of read up on the banking system and I'm like, this is kind of a giant Ponzi scheme. And you know, I was living in LA and I was just looking at it. It's like you can't get out of the city even when it works. Like, what if ever hit the fan there? How do I get out of here? And it just seemed like up and out was the only way to do it. So Yeah, no, so then yeah, but then I always watched Magnum PI and always liked TC, and he flew that Huey 500, which I thought was cool. And so then, and I'm also sort of a closet gearhead where I don't know a lot of stuff, but I watch videos of people repairing engines, and I just really got into it. Next thing you know, I'm flying around in those things. I guess my question would be, though, based on your escape plan, do you have your own helicopter? No, there's a lot of holes in it. Also, this is not enough for your family. I know, but I can only afford to. I just rent those things, man. It's just like, yeah, that's the thing. There's another thing, too. Whenever you watch, like, a zombie movie and some guy comes running up to, like, a plane, I got helicopter, I should say, and just starts it up like he's getting in, like, a Corvette and just drives away. That's not how it works. You got to warm the whole thing up. You'd have to kill half the zombies by the time you went through your pre-flight just to get up and out of there. So I didn't know that. So I went ahead and I did it. And I will tell you, it's one of the big accomplishments in my life because I was terrible in school. But that was something that I wasn't worried about learning how to fly it. It was the ground school and all the rules you had to know. But I was so interested and it was so fascinating. I was actually able to do it. So, well, fantastic. Congratulations on that. Thank you. Congrats on the show. Have a great trip to Europe, man. Oh, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to see you. Great. We finally did this. Bill Burr, everybody. You really are the whitest person I've ever seen in my life. Yes, served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah, I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill. I don't even mean it. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like I do you. I'm talking full-on white privilege. I was stunned when I first heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. I was like, everybody doesn't get to do this. It seems as if the song never changes, job interviews. Right as I get out of the car, you're hired. Go home. I will see you tomorrow. You want an office? You were on a stand-up comedy tour of the world. Is it the world? I think we could say the world. The white world. The white world. If I went to Europe, they just pulled back like I was actually doing that. Was it a racist tour? Well, let's go through the countries. Maybe it was the white. Oh, yeah, it was pretty. That was pretty white I went on. What the hell was I? I did England, Iceland, getting whiter there. I sat under the corporate at Santa Claus's house, whitest dude ever. Then I kind of did. I don't know. I went to Germany and then, Austria. Where were you received most warmly? As far as like them getting me the best, I guess I would call it the Midwest of Europe. It was the Budapest, Vienna, and Warsaw. Wow, yeah. They were like the same kind of idiot that I was. And we just like locked in and I had these great, like I was in Budapest, I was on stage, like, geez, I'd shoot a special here. Yeah, people look great, yeah. They were just going along with the left. And it must be really strange to be popular and well-received in a place where English is not their first language. Yeah, no, it is. But you got to understand that everybody has like Netflix. So all you're getting is just what people that are into you. It's not like I walk around hungry going, hey, how's it going? People look at it. The hell is this guy talking about? Like they don't know me. The people that know me, and then they show up, and that's all I need. So like every person we would see, like for instance, here at the Royal Albert Concert Hall in London where you shot your special. And when I watched it last night, it was great, by the way. Thank you. So, but when you walk out on these English people, there's a lot of people, they're thrilled to see you. That has to, I would imagine that means something more than, going back to Boston. Yeah. No, it's very, very humbling to sit there and be like that. All these people from this far away want to come out and see you. And then that's when you can get in your head and start going like, do I deserve this? What am I doing here? And Royal Albert Hall is beautiful. And it's like, I got a bunch of jokes. Why am I here? Yeah, there's like symphonies performed there, and then I'm coming out. Hey, you ever been going to the bathroom? And blah, blah, so there's a lot of that, yeah. When you travel around, the funniest parts, when you get really far east into Europe, is they get like really like logical. And I remember bombing. I can't remember if I was in Finland or Estonia. I was just bombing and I was just going, my God, what's going on? And like I noticed their heckles. They were like trying to like solve the problem of the joke. Like you tell a joke and I wouldn't get a laugh. Yep. And somebody, well, why didn't you just say you were sorry? So I was just like, oh, is that what you guys are trying to do? So it's like I had to kind of figure that out. And no, if you get into like countries where they don't believe in an afterlife, you get a lot of that. Very logical. Yo, there's no like, hey man, there's none of that vibe. It's just like this plus this equals that. It's like, all right. That's kind of funny, yeah. You know what I wanted to ask you about, because I know you're a big Patriots fan. Yes, Antonio Brown. Yes, are you excited about him being on the team? We'll see what happens. You never know. What I like is it's a one-year contract. That's perfect. It's like a weekend in Vegas, right? No matter how crazy she is, it's got to end. You're going to be on that Southwest flight. I think he's going to be good. I don't know. I think there was a little bit of him a little bit of, maybe seemed like they were finding him, I think. Wasn't there like something in his contract where if they find him enough time, then they didn't have to pay him a signing bonus? I don't know, but it seems like if you miss a practice, then you get fined because practice is part of the thing, yeah? Do you think like if he'd go, he's also a Raider. I thought like that's what you're supposed to do. Show up dressed like a pirate, threaten somebody's come in with booze on your breath, and then as long as you scored a touchdown, you were fine. That's the way the Raiders were when I grew up, so I was a little surprised that. Were you thrilled when you read that he went? He signed with the Patriots so very quickly. And Tom Brady even invited him to come live in his house. Yeah, I know, it's nuts, it's the whole thing. Every time I think it's over, another good thing happens. Did you take your family on the road with you to Europe for this? I took them to Iceland. Oh, you did? Yeah. So whenever I go over to Europe, we just pick a country that we've never been to, and we hang there for like 7 days, get acclimated to the time or whatever. And yes, we went to Iceland, just you, your wife, and your daughter. Yep. And my parents came over. Oh, your parents came too? Yeah? Oh man, I forgot this story. I was smoking a cigar. They have like a center in Reykjavik, and it's just sort of this grassy hill with, some statue of some dead guy. The usual thing, right? So I was sitting there and I was smoking a cigar. This woman approached me. She was just like, "Excuse me, can you do me a favor?" And I was just like immediately weirded out. I was like, "Yeah, what?" She goes, Can you push me down the hill?" I'm like, "What?" She goes, Can you push me down the hill?" I go, "Is this like some hidden video? Like you're not getting me, all right? I'm a guest in your country." And she just wanted me to roll it down the hill. So I went like, "All right, just post me too. You don't know what you're supposed to do. If I say no, then no. Do I? The hill shamer?" Yeah. So it's like, all right. So I'm like, "Where can I touch her?" She's like, way too old to do like 30. Okay. So I pushed her and she went, She went down the hill and I thought it was over. I was like, all right. She rolled down towards the street. It's over. And then she got up and she's like yelling up like, it's all wet and I'm dirty. And she starts coming back up, sitting down to talk to me. And I just got all like just weirded out by it. And well, you should have, yeah. Not to say she was from Poland. That's not how Icelandic people are. She went for the old Polish roll. Yeah, you gotta watch out. Well, the special is very, very funny. Watch it. It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix now. Bill Burr, everybody. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. Click below to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Or if you want to be that way about it, don't.
Yeah, you stupid jerk. No, you can't get racial back. Because the second you get racial back, when you're white, then all of a sudden they wheel out that podium and have that press conference. You gotta be like that guy standing up there going, "I disgraced the company. I disgraced myself. I'd just like to state that there was no air conditioning on the subway. I wasn't thinking clearly. I have nothing against Mexicans. I went to Tijuana. I had a great time. Please don't do this. No, that's why a lot of white dudes, we can get uptight in certain social situations. We gotta watch out for the podium. No, that podium can come out of nowhere. You're not even trying to say something like, "Yeah, I'm thinking of getting a shirt." What shirt? Oh, I'm thinking of the black shirt. What the hell did you say? I said black shirt. I should have said African-American shirt. I apologize. Please, I need this. I have a mortgage. Please don't do this. So I got a computer recently. It's one of the biggest things in my life. So I'm really trying to get more into this whole technology thing. I'm awful with computers. I'm one of those guys. Basically, every button I hit on my computer has to shut down, regroup somehow, deal with my idiocy. You know what I mean? Then there's always some 8-year-old I see later on a laptop. He's breaking into the Pentagon, downloading movies that haven't even been made yet. I just got a plane ticket for $6. You just want to slam his head in the face. I'll tell you, the only thing I like about my computer is I really enjoy spell check. No, I love it. You know what I love about spell check? You don't have to be close to getting the word right. Have you ever noticed that all you got to do is just get it somewhere within the ballpark of the word? It's almost like your computer can just start guessing I don't know, dinosaur. There. When you're sitting there like an idiot, no, I wasn't trying to spell dinosaur. So then what does your computer do? It starts throwing out every D word it can possibly think of. Okay, how about dictionary, diary? Any of this stuff looking familiar? Are we moving towards the goal or away from it? You ever spell a word so bad though? Your spell check has absolutely no clue what the hell you're trying to spell. What do you end up getting? You end up getting a question mark. You got $1 million worth of technology just looking back at you just like you got me, buddy. Which is pretty amazing because I have all the words, yeah. And that doesn't look like any of them. I can't even make a guess. That's so screwed up. Would you pass out and whack your head off the keyboard? Please tell me you're not that stupid. All right, that's it for me. You guys were a lot of fun. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you for coming out, Sam. You had to go. This is how it was. You had to go out and you had to get a blow-up doll and you had to fucking go out and get it. You had to fucking go out and get it, right? You had to just order it off of an Amazon and some delivery guy shows up. He doesn't know what's in the box. You're standing there like Tom Hanks. Hey, how you doing? Great to see you. I'm gonna fuck that. You have no idea what it is now, dude. So you had to go down and you had to fucking get this thing. You had to find a porno store. You had to work it out that was far enough away from your house that no one was gonna recognize your car. You drive down like 11 in the morning. Who the fuck is gonna be there then? Right? You park in the back on like a Tuesday. Just sitting there in the car, psyching yourself up like, okay, I'm not hurting anybody. It's just an urge. Just get in there, okay? Hand in the money. Just get in there and get it done. You yank your hat down, you fuck. You walk in with all your courage, and then you get in there and be too many other perverts in there, and you get all psyched out. So what you do is you just grab a bunch of videotapes, and you walked up to the counter, and you had to make it look like it was an impulse buy, right? And you're walking up and everything. All the creepy shit was behind the counter, right? Just fucking heads and feet. Just an ass body part. Serial killer buffet. What fucking world am I entering? Oh, my God. Somebody fucking a neck. Jesus Christ, right? Set it down. Just make it look real subtle. Okay, buddy? Not gonna be all? Yeah? No, maybe that. Maybe that thing down the end with the surprised look on its face. Maybe I'd like to take a shot at that. I don't know. The guy wraps it up, and then you finally get it. You give him the money. You fucking run out to the car. You have this whole weird emotion. You're like excited. You hated yourself. Thank God I finally did it. What the fuck is wrong with me? Just drive off. You go back to your little shitty fucking apartment and you had to blow it up quietly. So none of your neighbors heard, just like, you got excited to start going a little faster and just watching this thing slowly coming to life, just like, right? And then you wrap those rubber legs around you. And God forbid you got caught. Your roommate comes walking in, he's fucking a blow-up doll. Dude, your life was over. You want like 6 minutes to get your mom on the phone, like, Mom, I love you, and you're never going to see me again. Don't believe what people said about me. I'm so sorry. I'm going to Alaska. Oh, God, click, that was it. You moved to Alaska, that was... No one ever saw you again. And that's why, to this day, if you go to Alaska, there's like 8 men for every 2 women. Yeah, because that state is littered with men who got caught fucking shit they shouldn't have been fucking, like a boss. I keep forgetting the show I started to watch. I watched the first 3 episodes, and I absolutely loved it. Then I tweeted about, it was a cartoon from Japan. I guess they're called anime, which I did know that, but I didn't realize it was such a divisive thing to say that you liked the show that was anime. I feel like, is anime like the emo of cartoons? Like, I tweeted that I liked this show called One Punch Man. All right? And the responses that I got, dude, are you drunk? Oh, my God, you're into anime. And then other people just like, this is like the greatest day ever. I just like the show. I've watched enough of the same type of shit, and I was scrolling through, and I was like, what the fuck is this show? And I looked and it had 5 stars, 4.5, 5 stars, which is why I really hope Netflix doesn't go to thumbs up, thumbs down, like I said, because it's so fucking, stubbing your toe, thumbs down, Adolf Hitler, thumbs down. I mean, the thumbs down is this. There's a big gap between Hitler and, stubbing your fucking toe. Anyway, so I put this thing on, and what I loved about the show, aside from the fact that I really thought it was funny, that you actually kind of got like a sense of what young people feel like in Japan, as far as their view of going into the corporate world was very similar to the empty feeling. Unless you're a fucking sociopath over here. I find like a very like common thread to that, and to basically give you the overall thing, the superhero in it. He's not a soup. He doesn't want to be a superhero. When I'm out fighting monsters, I never feel as if my heart's really in it anymore. I mean, I just do the hero thing as a hobby, all right? And he fucking trained really hard because he wanted to be the strongest guy in the world. And in his training, he lost all his hair, which is hilarious. And he's really self-conscious about it. But he ended up developing like this punch. And no matter what monster he runs into, he doesn't give a shit whether they kill him. He's just completely devoid of any like passion or emotion. Like what happens to you when you get shoved into a fucking cubicle? And he's got this one punch, and he just can punch so hard that no matter how badass the monster is, he gives him one. Somebody said they should have called the show The Fair right there, Fred. And he gives him the bam in the face, as Eddie Murphy says, in the face, yes, in the face, yes, in the face, yes, in the face. And their head explodes, and the monsters that he fights. You also get more of an insight into where people's heads are at in Japan. And it was like, one of the monsters he fought with some giant virus sent here by the earth to get rid of it. all the humans because of what we've done to the planet. So there was an environmental thing then. My favorite one was this guy who was Crab Man. He was half like up top. He was all a crab, and then the bottom, he was half a guy, and he was in, with the bottom half, he's in his bare feet and tighty whities. Bet you're a new businessman already, hating the daily grind. I ate too much crab and turned into this crab lante. You should be crapping in your pants right now. Why aren't you running? And the guy's like, oh, I ate so much crab meat that I became a fucking crab. And see, and to me, he represented the upper 1% corporate guys, you know, on some power lunch, just eating all the sushi and just take. Nothing spiritual about him. So he gave him the old right there, Fred, and then he fought this fucking lady. And she had command of all the mosquitoes. And she'd sick the mosquitoes on everybody, suck all the blood out of you and all your energy, and then it would make her stronger. And to me, it's like, oh, this is a gold-digging, blood-sucking whore, right? Come on. That wasn't nearly enough blood to satisfy my needs. Now go get some more for me. And then once she got it to do it to all the animals and everybody there, she didn't need the mosquitoes anymore. She told all the mosquitoes to go fuck themselves. And I'm like, slash. This is also somebody who becomes successful and forgets where they come from. And they look at everybody where they used to be as like a bunch of fucking peons. A bunch of little insignificant little mosquitoes. I no longer need my tiny little helpers. I mean, just look at how strong I've become, right? It's a lot of levels to it. Or you can just get fucking high and watch this bald-headed dude fucking punch half a crab in the head and watch it explode. I enjoyed it. Keep it up for me. The money comes in, the parade comes to town. Going down Broadway is a one-way street, whichever way I go. Nymel. And I finally work my way up to the front of the plane, Group 1, which means you get to board like it's your plane, right? You get to board chase. You sit in a chair that's the size for a human being. There's a place for your bag. Yep, right? You get a little hot towel and all that. Then the second I get that, all of a sudden now there's like these 20 groups that are like pre-boarding now. Like half the plane qualifies and they're getting on. And I just sit there just like losing my shit. You know, it starts off like, it's just like anybody in uniform, anybody in military. So it's like, all right. But after like the 20th guy, you just start being like, have you seen action? Are you on the front line, the police? Then it's anybody with kids, anybody with disabilities. And they just say, anybody with the red shirt, hey, it's Tony Tuesday. Anybody named Anthony could get on? Dude, one time I saw this guy get on the plane, okay? He wasn't in uniform, he didn't have kids, he had all his limbs, he wasn't limping, he didn't have a cough. He just walked on the plane, it's like, who is that guy? How did I get on for that guy? So no, I always hated the anxiety of being in the back of the plane. I just remember like the worst is whenever you would get your seat and you'd sit there and about ready to close the door and you'd have that empty seat next to you, like the poor man's first class, and I walk, oh shit, I'll bring the armrest up, I can actually be great. Then all of a sudden, some fat bastard gets on the platform, and you're like, no. You like Quint at the end of Jaws, like sliding down the floor, right? So one time, I swear to God, this is all true. This dude got on. He was so fat. He was sitting next to me. I was literally next to him, behind him. He like tried to make himself smaller, and he like folded his arm, and his leg came out like a, you know, this old Western saloon thing. I'm just sitting behind this thing. So yeah, that motivates you to try to get to a solution. So all these years, 20 years, you work your way up to the front, and now still they won't let you. Yeah, now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop eating cookies. So he gets on, look how many groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. Did that guy eat a salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us? We're all working out. What is the problem? Well, okay, what could you do? Could you do anything? Then could you get on the plane? Is there anything you could do, Conan? I imagine there's something that I could be doing. There's always something that I could be doing. That's what I've learned being married, you know? Well, you should have done it this way. I'm sorry. Like that, literally. So I'm your wife right now. Yeah, that was just playing in the loop. What am I doing now? You know, this is the thing. You know what? It kills me. It's just like, if I could just fix my temper, my wife, she'd have nothing on me. Yeah, she'd have nothing on me. I work my ass off. I make a great living. I like doing the dishes. I'm a great dad. All she has on me is just, I don't know, like my overall vibe, but that's it. Wait a minute. All she has on you is my fault. It's your overall personality and vibe. You know what kills me? Oh, it's this guy when the essence of who you are is the only thing. It's this guy when she met me. Yeah. She's acting like I changed. I was always flipping out. Were you flipping out the day, like when you met? Did you flip out? Did you really? That or, yeah. I remember she told me to go see that movie, Monster. Remember that movie with Charlize Theron? Yeah. And everybody was saying how, oh my God, it was unbelievable. Like they literally blamed guys that she was a serial killer. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when you saw the Jeffrey Dahmer movie, it wasn't like, somebody shoved a tuna fish sandwich up my ass, and I confused people with food. So they didn't make like a big excuse for them. You know, she was a psycho killing people, and she should have died. But I'm like watching it, feeling guilt. Do they ever take responsibility for their actions? Even when they're murdering people, it's somehow our fault. It's unreal. That was the problem. Having a juniper sandwich. Why would having a juniper sandwich? 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 So you equated, I don't know, sex with food. I forget. I forget how the idea went. But all I know is she laughed when I said it. She was dying laughing and kind of saw my point. And I always hate when she says to me, she'd just be like, you know, I just don't see. Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? It's just like, honey, how many childhood stories do I have to tell you before you follow the breadcrumbs to the psycho that you married? I mean, did you ever take a psychology class? Like, you didn't see this coming, right? That's what it is. It's not that she says that I'm a jerk. It's just the nerve to be surprised. All right. I wish we had more time. Good God. All right. I feel like do I help you at all by getting cathartic? It's cathartic, right? It's cathartic. At least I'm going to go home. She's not going to watch this. She's older. I love it when a guest says she's not going to watch it. No, she's not going to watch it. Yeah. You can see Bill on his latest nationwide tour, 58. He's starting to mellow. I swear to God I am. I'm getting a twinkle in my eye. Back at the TD Garden in Boston on October 5th in Madison Square Garden. Wow. On Wednesday, November 7th, that's fantastic. Unbelievable. Thank you. For more cities and dates, thank you. Go to billburr.com, Bill Burr. We write back Regina Hoffman. She was mourning and screaming. I was mourning and screaming. And yeah, I was mourning and screaming. I looked into her eyes. She looked into my eyes and she went, do they have Christmas trees in Africa? I have no idea what pisses me off more. Fuck, they said us is while we're having sex, or the fact that I took time out to answer the question. Yes, we do. You guys have been wonderful. Good night. What's up? What's up? What's up? Bonjour, Montreal. I have been here for 3 weeks. I've never been here that long. I've been reading the news. There's no mass shootings. No cops killing black people. There's no Caitlyn Jenner stuff that you have in an election. I don't know the religion of the candidates. What the hell do you do for fun up here? I have no idea what's going on, gay marriage. Right? We have that now. Yeah. Our Supreme Court finally approved gay marriage. And in the decision, the funniest thing they wrote, they said that gays are now entitled to the same rights as all other humans. And I said, that's so nice of you to make them human now, because we do. We have a national homophobia. It's ridiculous. Like the minute the Supreme Court approved gay marriage, the states that don't want it, they have these things now. They call it religious freedom laws. And it's a twist on religion. And what it does, it allows people to use their religion to discriminate against gays or anyone they don't like, you know, in the name of Jesus. Because there's no doubt Jesus was big on discrimination. I think it was Jesus that said, love one another as you love thyself. Unless he's different than you, then go ahead and shoot his ass. Because that was open. Perry Jesus, who's very popular down in Texas, I don't know. So they have these laws. So there was a pizzeria in Indianapolis that said they refused to serve pizza to gay weddings. Now keep in mind, no gay wedding had ever ordered pizza. But they said, we will not serve pizza to gay weddings that didn't order pizza in the first place. And just to make sure we never lose any money not serving pizza to gay people who didn't want pizza, we had started a Kickstarter, GoFundMe page, and they raised over $800,000 to make sure they never lose money not serving pizza to gay people who didn't want pizza to begin with. And I read that article and I made a decision, and I'm telling you right now, Alonzo Bowden refused to do comedy at gay weddings that have never asked me to do comedy in the first place. And just to make sure I never lose money not doing comedy for gay people that didn't want my ass there to begin with, I have started a GoFundMe page. So please give generously in the name of Jesus. We always talk about the women up here. Beautiful, beautiful women, yeah. And look. But I'm out of the game now because the game has changed. Used to be able to pick up, now you want to hook up. You want to get laid? There's an app for that, right? That's what you do. They have like Tinder and Instagram and stuff, and that's a young man's game. You know, my nephew was showing me, like, check it out. You just flip through the pictures, then you hit, like, then if she hits, like, you hook up and you smash that, and I was like, you smash that on a, like, that's the extent of your effort. You lucky little punk. You don't know. I love it. I can look on Instagram, but I can't be trying to hook up on Instagram. A little too old. Be messing around the Instagram. Well, I'd be the creepy guy on Instagram, you know? And you don't want to be that, right? Creepy. That's like the worst thing I got. No, I used to think creepy was the worst thing a guy could be until I heard these girls talk about a guy who looked rapey. And I was like, that's a thing. Now there's rapey out there. That is the worst description I have ever heard. Can you imagine being described as rapey? Man, If you looked rapey, you would do anything to get back to creepy, wouldn't you? People always ask comics, they're like, what makes you laugh? I'll tell you what makes me laugh. The most ordinary, everyday things I see that they make me laugh. I was crossing the street, right? I stopped at the crosswalk. I looked next to me. There's a seeing eye dog. And I looked at him, and he had no blind person. It was just a dog. And I started laughing my ass off, because all I could think is somewhere there's a blind guy going, where's my dog? Where's my dog? And I couldn't help but think, what did he do then? The dog said, I've had enough of this. You on your own, you're laughing. I love that. I love that joke. Because see, now that planted a seed, right? And what is going to happen? You're going to see a blind guy with a dog, and you're going to think about that joke, and you're going to start laughing, and everyone's going to think you're the biggest asshole in the world because you're laughing at a blind guy with a dog. And then you're going to be, no. A rapey guy said, I'm Alonzo Bowden. Thank you, thank you. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18C. Hey, welcome, everybody. We got the alternate here. My name is Burr Chrysler. I'll be your host all day. First candle coming in. Oh, he sees a big heifer at 11:15. Do I got 11:15 from Camouflage Hip Hop over there? Southernly, gentlemen. Southernly, gentlemen. Nothing. Nothing. No kettle for you, huh? So understand the process and what's about to go on. I got my game plan. First cows that come out are John's. I like it. I like it. Follow my lead. All right, here we go. Showtime. Are you ready? What happens if you accidentally buy one? I'm not going to buy one. Don't worry. There we go. Okay, this is going really quick. Here we go. Here we go. Like $1,000. Maybe no one else bid. No one else bid. I thought there was going to be more action. Okay, crying. How fast did anybody else bid? I thought I was going to I just bought Joe. Can someone please find out how much I spent on this cat? How do we know how much we paid for this? I've got 2 kids and 2 dogs and a rescue cat. My wife's going to kill me. So like the total is $1,400. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, it's $31. 11, 31. All right, to make change. I think the haggling part's over, Bird. Yeah. Should have haggled more in there, huh? You should. I guess you should. Money just went so quickly. If you'll just put your address on there. Oh, it's B-E-R-T, please. Oh, B-E-R-T. Give my home address, Valley Village. I don't know how I'm going to get this thing to California. You got any friends who are ranchers out there? Is it just me or that really happened fast, right? Your hand went up and he just said sold. God, did I do... Are there different hand motions that you're supposed to use? You were pretty assertive. You went pretty high with it. You think people thought they were being nice and just let us out because we were in on the action? What are you going to name it? I'm going to name it sold. I'm going to name it. Really should get a hold of my wife. Well, we got good news and we got bad news. All right, all your cattle sold. That's good news. What's the bad news? I bought one. Oh, did you? What'd you do? Go at you and put your hand up? Got it, got it. Did you really get it? I swear to God, I bought that job. This way, a little more. That's good, a little more. You're going to clear. All right, this is your new home. You're out here with the horses you're going to love. Keep acting like that. I'm not going to open the gate. Open them both. Open them both. All right, buddy? Hide behind one. Get out of the way. This is your new home. Get out of the way. All right, just take off. This is all yours. You're John's now. I'm going to come back and visit you. No castration. You think I ought to tell him that he's already been branded and already been castrated? Kevin, what you've achieved in your career is not even scratching the surface of who you are. You are very, not only deserving of this award, but people don't understand what you've done to the business. Do you know how many tickets you've sold since you started doing concerts? I called and checked. I know 500 million. 500 million people watch this man. Stand in front of him and make them laugh. Kevin is one of the greatest comedians I've ever seen. Kevin is one of the greatest men that I've ever known. Hello, Jerry. You bring joy to our environment. People don't know all the things that comedians go through and how difficult, how heavy it is to wear the crown. But man, I swear to God, you do it with so much grace, so much kindness, man. I know every story of all the comedians that you help out. I know how you go back to Philadelphia and support your neighborhood. And I know that inside you feel awful sometimes. But I've never seen it on your face, and I've never felt it in your presence. And I am honored to know somebody like you. I really wish you would have come when I won this award.